I did have a career elsewhere. I was working in fashion prior to herbalism. That said, I have been studying plants and healing systems and the body's relationship with nature from the time I was a little kid. I was always fascinated in this. So in one sense, and I was tinkering. I would experiment with myself. I would try things again from the time I was quite young, all the way through my career in fashion, until I became an herbalist. And, for example, when I was working in fashion, I was sober. I was raw vegan. I was, using my vacation days to go to Peru for ayahuasca retreats. Like, I was definitely studying at that point as well. But, I really doubled down on herbalism when I realized how holistic it is and that it's not just plants as medicine. It actually takes the entirety of a person into account. What is your diet, your lifestyle, your physical fitness, your community, your spirituality? How is everything in your life, affecting your vitality? And where do we begin to make you a better person? And how do we do that naturally? That's really what herbalism is about. And of course, there are herbs that can be used as medicine, but we might start with nutrition, and we might never go beyond nutrition if that's all someone needs to feel fantastic. That's actually the goal, But, one thing I would say is that because we're discovering new plants all the time, because science is still working to understand all of the different ways that these herbs work on our bodies, just like medicine is continuing to evolve, just like nutritional science is continuing to evolve, there is no end to how much we can learn. So I am constantly learning more and adjusting my own routine. But I would say, some time after deep studies, some years after deep study, and also seeing clients one-on-one all day long. I had a full private practice, as well as teaching to very large groups, and seeing the herbs work in people's lives, change their health, change their lives. My approach and my preferences began to narrow and focus to, what I present in the book now as my absolute favorite, tried and true, methods for holistic health, as well as the herbs, within them. So in some senses, it's really hard to kind of pinpoint exactly how long it took for me to sort of know a thing, because it's gradual and continual, like so many fields of study are.